Hey,
Hey, yo, yeah.
we back again with another episode of Code Switching Naturally. It's just us girls today. And because I was not in the mood to go anywhere, and because we love y'all, this is what you get. Okay.
Right. We still
Con
gave y'all an episode. He was not even here, and we're still giving y'all an episode.
Listen, content, okay? We trying to be consistent.
There we go. Consistent.
We trying, okay? And so, anywho, I'm AJ.
I'm Jenny.
And I don't I don't know. Quinn Q is normally really good with the L's of the week recently as of late, but and so I don't think we really have one today. Do you have one today? You know what?
Uh,
I have one.
okay.
And this ain't, yes, it is. It's a shot at multiple people. It's a shot at a lot of people. If you have fuck nigga tendencies, this L goes to you. Because don't nobody want to deal, and this goes for females too. Whatever you identify as, if you was a fuck nigga, you was a fuck nigga, it's a fuck nigga does, okay? And so this L is for you. Stop that. Don't be such a bullheaded person. You don't have to be a dickhead about it, okay? Be nice. Don't be toxic, okay? Some people just like to be toxic for the fuck of being toxic. Don't do that. Don't do the things, okay? And if you feel like you need to be that type of person, then people not gonna like your ass. So
That's true. I mean, however, niggas gonna nig forever.
yes, but you don't have to be a nigga always, okay?
You ain't gotta be a nigga forever.
It ain't gotta be forever though. You can it's okay. Sometimes situations call for the nigga in you to come out. And sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But what I'm saying is you ain't got to do it to people who love you
You know,
and
that
people
makes
that
sense.
are genuine with you. Like, don't do that. You don't
Facts.
gotta do that. So anywho, um Jenny, what's the question of the day?
Ooh. Um, how do you feel you are interpreted by other people? I don't know how to word that question. Um, hmm.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah. I don't how do I word this question? Hmm. What were we talking about last that we said we were gonna expound upon? We had that conversation about people's interpretation of you is it really entirely depends on them and not you. Has nothing to do with you.
Okay, so are you asking me about how I care how people view me or interpret me? Is that what you're asking?
I don't yes.
Um, well, as of recently, it kind of affected me. So, we'll give y'all a little behind the scenes of like some of the conversations we don't have on the podcast or whatever. So last weekend we were doing things that big sisters do, and a lot of my sisters was just like, "Oh, I'm just so proud of you. You behaved yourself," and that kind of like I don't know why in that particular standpoint that like pissed me off. and made me be like, fuck y'all. Don't talk to me like I'm some jit that don't know how to behave themselves. Like, what the fuck? What do I look like? And so it we started having a conversation about the fact that like
This
people
isn't a common issue that you go through. You personally, honestly.
like people always tell me that I should be less me or
Hmm.
I should be less, I don't know, I guess aggressive or
I think people interpret you as as an aggressive person, but I think they're looking at it through the lens of their own scope of behavior,
mhm,
if that makes sense. Like, they don't see it through your lens. If you were to look at your actions through your lens, it would make a lot more sense to people. But I think sometimes people have a tendency to. I remember I had said this, especially people from the South. We expect people to be overly and sickly nice. Um,
yeah,
and there is a difference, a huge difference between what is nice and what is truly kind.
yeah,
And in the South, we prioritize nice. It's the kind of fake nice that we want. We want people to be overly sweet. And that's not the kind of person you are. Like, you are sweet when it is genuine and only when it's genuine. Otherwise, it seems like fallacy to you. I would never want you to push that out of you if it's not real.
correct. I'm not the person that's going to fake nice with you, especially if I don't fuck with you. Like, I'm not finna sit here. Now, I'll be cordial, I'll be kind enough,
Hmm.
but if you say something that's out of pocket to me, or if you say
Hmm.
something that's out of pocket to a person that I truly care about, I'm going to say something. And most of the time, when I do speak up, everybody around me be like, I can't believe you said that out loud. Well, you were thinking it.
Right.
So what's the difference? I said it to the person so nobody, I have this philosophy about myself, right? And
Hmm.
sometimes it might seem like I'm doing too much, but I don't want to leave this earth without telling every single person I encounter or I have some sort of relationship with how I feel, whether it's
Hmm.
good or bad. So if I miss you, I'm gonna pick up the phone and text you, or I'm gonna find you on social media and look through your social media. If I'm not the type, if I'm not fucking with you, if I think about you, I'm going to tell you, or you're going to know. Like there's not gonna be any doubt of how I feel about you. And when I said what
Right.
I said it. I'm not gonna take it
You
back.
are. I commend you for the fact that you are the kind of person. What you said is what you said, and that is a trait that I feel like some people are not able to do. Like, some people are not able to really say what they mean and mean what they say. Like, at the end of the day, you are the kind of person that is very real with how you i- interact with people. If you fuck with them, you fuck with them. If you don't, you don't, and it's dead. That's it. There's
And,
no questions. You don't have to question it.
and I think to me, that's like, I feel like that's how you're supposed to be with people. Like, you shouldn't have to guess where we stand. And if you're
Hmm.
guessing, that means something is wrong on your part because I already said what I said. I already said it.
Right.
And if we haven't had that conversation, then sure, you can ask me or I will approach you and be like, hey, yo, this is how I feel. Now, I do realize that sometimes with certain people, I have to be a lot more aware
Hmm.
of how I say what I say, which is why y'all have told me I can't have certain conversations with certain people because of the fear that they're not going to accept it or it might hurt their feelings too much.
And I think that largely it's not an issue to do with you personally. It
Mhm.
is us saying that that person is not prepared for you. They're not where you are when it comes to being able to communicate.
Mhm.
Uh, and because of that, whatever it is that you're trying to say to that person, most likely is not going to get received the way you mean it. And I only reasons that I would ever tell you like, hey, maybe don't say that is, or maybe, hey, pull back a little bit, is if in situations where I'm like, I know that what you're saying needs to be heard, but
Mhm.
with the position that the other person is in, they won't hear you, what you're saying. That is the only time I would ever pull you back. Now, I've seen people pull you back in situations where I'm like, no, what she's saying is correct. What she's saying is right. It needs to be said. Y'all just don't like how it's delivered, unfortunately.
And I'm coming to
That's
find out, you know what when they say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I've been in situations where I've said things in the nicest form fashion with no tone, with no malice, no
hmm
nothing, and it's still not received. So it's not really about what you
hmm
say or how you say it. It's about the people or the person it's delivered from or the people not being receptive to what you're saying,
it
regardless of how
it's
it
a two-way street. It
Mhm,
You can do everything that you can possibly do to communicate well, and at the end of the day, if the other person is not on the receiving end and being able to receive that information properly, miscommunication is just going to happen. It's
mhm.
a two-way street. Some people, sometimes the fuck up is not your own. Sometimes they're just not hearing you.
So, and I know that sometimes I can say things really harsh and like it's not on purpose, but because and if I do say it harsh, it's because I've probably already said it like 4 times already in a nicer way. So now I'm like, fuck it, I'm finna tell you how it really is. And
hmm
by that now I'm the bad guy because oh well, she was mean about it. Well, what about the other 10 times when I said what I said and you
Exactly.
still didn't
Exactly.
want to accept what I said? So now, as I'm being more harsh with it, now all of a sudden, oh, it's Ariel's the bad one. Like,
I I believe that people have a tendency to when someone says things nicely, they take it as permission to bend the boundary.
and I
And I
don't,
mean nicely, not kindly, but when you say things nicely, people think they hear a permission to bend whatever boundary or bend whatever it is that you just said to fit their narrative.
and that's a
So
problem.
then and that's a huge problem because when you decide, you know what, I can't say this anymore nicely, I will say it maybe with kindness. I tried kindness and I'm still not being heard. So now I'm going to go with aggression because you were now hitting a boundary for me. I've tried saying it and now I'm hitting a boundary with you.
And sometimes
Un-
that happens in the same conversation. Like,
and
I've
exactly.
I've told you, and a big thing for me right now is like I realize that when it comes to my safety, I am like I am quick to panic. Like I have quick panic. I'm
hmm
very anxious about it. And I am very much like any person that disrupts, interrupts, or even knocks up against that boundary of like if I don't feel safe, I am going to go to war. Like I don't care anymore. I'm not gonna say it nice. I don't give a fuck how you take it. You're
hmm
you're pushing a boundary. If I tell you once I'm not comfortable or leave me alone or let's not do this, don't keep questioning me or pestering me to do it because now it's going to come out as attitude and I don't care.
And I'm a firm believer that if anyone were to, if someone getting close to, or you feel like you need to defend your boundaries, especially if they're newfound boundaries, defend them with the same amount of venom and vigor as if someone were to put their hands on you, because it's essentially the same thing, especially if they're brand new. Someone who is just now realizing that they panic when their safety it doesn't feel safe anymore, usually is because at some point their safety was taken and they're protective of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like,
that kind of thing should be respected. If I notice that, hey, this is your safety boundary because I'm pushing up against something that's uncomfortable for you, maybe the reaction will seem extreme to me, but for you, that is a big boundary to you. I respect that.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, recently I am very like sensitive about me and my like perception of myself.
Hmm.
Not my perception of what people think about me. I could give a fuck. I don't care. But recently I'm starting to realize like a lot of who I was in certain moments and a lot of things I let slide for so long was because so many people kept telling me, oh, Ariel, that wasn't nice. Oh, you don't have to say it that way, or you're a little too
Hmm.
much. How am I too much though? Because
Now, I'll ask you this. Do you feel like in those instances you were bargaining with your own sense of safety?
no, not that I'm aware of. Um, because okay, so quiet as it's kept. I didn't up until like 2, 3 years ago, I didn't fully pay attention to my safety until I had
Hmm.
to. I always had like a safety net or a safety blanket of sorts
Yeah.
where I didn't have to worry about that. I was protected, or I thought I was. Like I thought that I didn't have to worry about my safety because I had already established certain things that would keep me safe. And then it was abruptly shown to me that I did not have a secure safety net or a safety boundary as I thought I did, because
Right.
I allowed people to address me or do things to me that I normally would have cut, snip snip, bitch, you got me fucked up a long time ago.
Right.
I used to be like in high school, you had one time to fuck up. You had
Hmm.
you had one time to make me doubt why we're friends or why we're in a relationship or why you had one, actually I'll take that back. You had two times. You didn't get to a third strike.
Hmm.
You didn't get to a third one. You had
It's
two
again
times.
that I said what I said.
I would tell you, hey, don't do that. I don't like that. Let's not do that. But then you'd be like, okay, my bad, I ain't gonna do that no more. If you did it again, it's a wrap for me.
Right.
That's how I was. And I would tell your ass about it. And I'd be like, nah, I
Hmm.
said what I said. I don't like that. So we good on that. Don't worry about it. We cool copacetic. It's been a couple of times where I took a break from them and they were allowed to come back. But after one situation where my livelihood was almost in jeopardy, I said, fuck that. Anybody could get wiped out at this point because I don't have the time. I got stuff I want to do in life,
Right.
goals to reach, like things to do. I'm
Hmm.
going through my own shit. I don't want to be a part of this. So no, I'm good on you. Don't talk to me. We're good. We are totally fucking fine.
Hmm.
And as I've gotten older, have I been more aware and cognizant of what I say and how I say it? Sure. But that's because for me, I don't want to be convicted with God because I didn't do it in a way that was compassionate or a way that was rooted in love, because I get it. We're human. We fuck up. Things happen, and
Hmm.
sometimes I'm a product of somebody else's situation. It wasn't personal. It wasn't something that they absolutely did to me to hurt me. But that does not mean that you get to come back and be close to me either.
Right.
And I think that, like, an example with our sisters, a lot of it was they didn't know me.
Hmm.
And I was also going through a lot when I met a lot of them. So by the time I came out of my shit, I had graduated, gone on, lived my life, moved to another city. Like so what you know is what you know. There's some that took the time to get to know me outside of what I was going through. So I have better relationships with them, but it and it doesn't say that they have the wrong interpretation of me. It's just that's who they got to see at that moment based on where I was in my life. And it was up to them whether or not they decided to proceed with their relationship or not. That's their choice. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm still going to reach out to you as your sister. If you don't see me as your sister, that's totally fine too, because I don't see all of y'all as my sister, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if I said what I said and I set that boundary of like, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why, and let's start here, because this is more of like a generalized thing. Like, just because somebody decides that they don't want you in their life like that, like their circle, doesn't mean that they're holding a grudge. Like, people are allowed
Mm-hmm.
to hold that boundary for the rest of their life with you, because
Right.
whatever point you were in your life, it's still, you still have to accept responsibility for your behaviors.
People are allowed to never forgive you.
Well,
It's not necessary. I won't say. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. People are allowed to never forgive you. If they choose forgiveness, that's grace upon you. However, you don't need to know anything about that, and you don't get to cross that boundary.
mm,
But again, no one owes you forgiveness. It is a grace gifted to you.
mm. And they may forgive you and never tell you. So
Exactly. You may never know. That's on you to reconcile with yourself.
correct. And I think that, like, I also think that there's that space where you can offer grace, but that doesn't mean reconciliation. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that that's a level of forgiveness either. But like,
Yeah.
you could be like, okay, God, that's not a relationship that's best for me. I wish them well, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't wish to proceed having them that close to me. Now, unless God himself was like, nah, fix that, which he can sometimes do, because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
there are situations or relationships that are going to, well, any relationship is going to go through something. They're gonna hit bumps and bruises, and they're gonna have moments where they're not going to get along. But you don't have to always reconcile every relationship. It's just not how that works. And I
Yeah.
think that, like, because I'm so open and okay with, like, I don't wish to fuck with you like that. I don't. And there's been a mutual friend of mutual friends, and I'm like, hey yo, I love them, but from here. Not, we not finna be kikiing. We not finna be, hey, yo, you coming over? We not finna be doing that. I see you when I see you because of them. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, that's probably where it's gonna stay at. I'm not gonna do nothing else with that. And I don't think that.
I've officially I've officially gotten to the point personally where I'm like, I hope that you eat well.
Mhm.
I hope though that you stay the fuck away from my table.
Period.
Stay the fuck away from my table. That's where I'm
That's
at in
all
my
I
life.
ask. That's all I ask. And you know what? God gonna bless you real good. And I hope that whatever you ask for will come over to you tenfold. But it don't mean that you got to come over here.
Tenfold. I'm blessings. But leave your blessings over there.
Get your blessings. How
Over
you get your
here, we're
blessings?
good.
Holly, because I cannot. I cannot.
Period.
No. Me and the Holy Spirit didn't had our conversations. Me and the Holy Spirit is good with this. We said we good with this relationship the way that it was. I don't like the fact that you did this thing. If you don't like the way I did the thing, you could tell me.
You
I've had
can.
experiences where people just cut me off and don't give me no type of warning, no type of understanding of what happened.
And what's
I've heard it
crazy
from
is
other people though.
the thing is that people are allowed to decide that they no longer want to be in companionship with you.
Correct. I'm
That's
not meant
cool.
for everybody. I understand that. I am like, I'm a Sour Patch Kid.
Mm, I
I'm
see it.
very,
Yeah.
I'm very enjoyable, but there's a little bite to me, and I stand on mine. I
Hmm.
understand it because one, my daddy ain't raised no bitch, okay? And everybody keep trying to tell y'all I am half nigga, okay? And that's no exaggeration. Like I'm not listen, this soft girl era shit.
That's not your vibe. Soft girl
What
vibe is not you for you.
what even is that, y'all? Like, what is
I,
the soft girl
eh,
era? Like, I don't
it's another way of saying self care. It's literally just another way of saying self care.
I do
We've
that
made
all
it trendy.
the time.
It doesn't even matter.
Today is a self-care day. I'm probably gonna eat my food, go back in the bed, watch whatever I want to watch.
Self care.
I
That's
might
all.
binge a whole bunch of movies. I might,
Right.
like I said, I don't want to go anywhere. I said I might go for a walk. I'm not doing that shit. Fuck it. I am in the bed today, okay? Don't
Right.
ask me to go nowhere. Don't look for me to get dressed. Hell, I'm half dressed. Nah. But I don't see that as soft girl era. I'm going to have some self-care. I'm about to listen. I'm about to do something.
Sometimes self care is not just a bottle of wine. Sometimes self care is Hennessy.
You just said a whole word. And I got one more can. I got one more can of ginger beer left. Girl, I might get drunk in the house today. Why you playing?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to, I don't know. I want to say perception versus reality. Everybody's perception is their own reality, but reality is what reality is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you feel like your reality is what it is, I mean, there's always your truth, they truth, and the actual truth. So, you know, shit happens. And I think that like I don't know, do I feel like it's a matter of like fairness? Like people aren't being fair to me? Probably not, but like I ain't gonna lose
It's
no sleep over it.
it's something to make you ponder or just think about like how I won't say it's like a self check. It's more so to say like, am I good with me? Just a moment to like step back and say, am I good with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what I kind of take it as.
Because I mean, I am. I just think that, like, when it comes to why it rubbed me the wrong way, I think it was because I was like, I feel like people keep trying to tell me who to be.
Mm,
And like, people keep trying to tell me that who I am as is not okay. Or
right.
trying to convince me that I'm not okay because I said things the way that I said them, whether it be in a professional setting or it be in my personal life. People feel like who I am isn't good enough. And I think that that's like, I don't come and tell you that you a pussy. I don't come tell you that you need to speak up for yourself more. I don't come tell you that you shouldn't throw stones at glass houses. I don't think I don't come tell you how to be.
That's facts. That is correct.
I don't tell nobody how to show up and be their authentic selves. I tell them how they can interact with me though.
Right. And that's
I
completely
tell you
different conversation.
I tell you how you can speak and interact with me, and I expect you to do the same vice versa. And then I think there's one situation where I was really confused because she would like say some slick shit and be sarcastic with me, but the moment it slaps out my mouth, because we all know Q and AJ, it's like water. You pop it open, it's coming. It's gonna happen. Don't give it if you can't handle it.
Right.
Because I'm not just gonna pop off with the sarcasm with everybody. I'm not gonna do that. I don't do that to people. Because I know my sarcasm is a little bit of asshole in it. Again, my daddy ain't raised no bitch. My mama ain't much better either because she passive with hers. My dad was just like, nah, you gonna get all this shit and you gonna feel it hard. Hard on. My mama got a little finesse with hers. And it's kind of funny because I'll never forget it. My school counselor, Miss Orso, she decided that all of us, even though we fulfilled our math requirement, was required to still have a math class and wouldn't take us out of it. And my mom was trying to get me in a driver's ed. And at the time, because of the FCAT, I failed by one question on the reading section, the reading section, but passed the math section. Okay. So anywho, so I was in intensive reading and my mom was like, she don't need this class because one, I was at Saturday school at my church or whatever, because we had the best academy that did like SAT prep and all that other stuff and ACT prep or whatever, and that would help me like supplement whatever. So she was trying to she was attitudinal with my mama. She was like, she can't take this out and I can't do this. And my mom was just like, are you sure?
Oh.
That she was like, are you sure?
Not are you sure?
She was like, I mean, I can go ask the principal if you can't do it, that's fine. I understand. But
Not if you can't do it.
Baby.
Oh my God.
Miss Kimberly gets to it, okay? She be
Oh
like,
my God.
Are you sure? She didn't get no louder. And the lady was just like, well, let me see what I can do. She was like, okay, you do that. And guess who got that driver's ed class though?
Of course.
That girl, my baby, she don't play them games, okay? And when I tell you she said what she said, okay? She said it. She said every word. And I'm just like, my parents taught me to be who I am, and they taught me how to be how I am. I am half of both of them, which is a nasty combination. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you've seen my parents. You've interacted with them. So you already know how bad it can get on my end. But don't bring it to me. Don't give me a reason to pop it open, because I don't have any remorse for anybody who puts me in the position to have to retaliate the way that I do. And I don't have to put my hands on you. I don't have to get loud with you. I said what I said.
Thanks.
I don't argue with nobody. And and that's the part for me.
We don't fight and we don't argue.
I don't. And I'm just like, I don't argue with you.
We don't, however, hit that bitch with a bottle.
Now, I will say,
oh my God.
If I ever black out, that's your ass. Because you the one. Now, they say can't nobody make you feel nothing. But if somebody puts you in a position, we are human. If somebody puts you in a position where they decide that they're going to come at you in a certain type of way, please understand, I will wreck your shit.
You get what you asked for. You get what you asked for.
And I'm like, it's one thing to push somebody and then be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they acted that way. Well, what the fuck you thought was gonna happen? That you was gonna keep
Exactly.
you was gonna be able to do what you wanted to do, and nobody was gonna make you pay for it. Everything
Exactly.
has a consequence, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. You gonna have to deal and accept responsibility for your own stuff. Now, I'm willing to admit maybe I could have said that a little different. And sometimes I'll go back and apologize. I ain't too big for that. But like if I feel like I said what I said because you said something to me or you said something in a tone, don't look at me crazy. Cause that's what you asked for. But all in all, because I feel like we can talk about this for hours. And I don't feel like
Yeah.
because then
And I gotta go.
we gonna go down a rabbit hole that I just don't want to go down. So anywho, y'all, real quick, girl,
Hey, Lord.
music of the week.
Um, I've been listening to Home by Adele a lot.
Really?
I really want to perform that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell you about my birthday plans because I figured out what I want to do. But yeah, I've been listening to that song a lot, and I kind of miss performing it.
Ooh,
I miss performing it a lot.
exciting. Okay,
Yeah.
so Friday was a great day for music, especially R&B. But I'm gonna go with "Slow Dancing" by Kenyon Dixon. Baby, I hmm, I've listened to that a lot of times that I'm not gonna say because
Mm.
it's that good. But I'm gonna do my own side content and review a whole bunch of stuff that I listened to over the weekend. One of these days, it'll be our Thursday. But anywho, yeah, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. We have a link tree on our Instagram and Twitter. Code Switch a Pod.
Yeah, check out our link tree.
Yeah, we'll update it as we need to. But
Yeah.
until next time, beautiful people, stay black, stay beautiful, and stay humble and all the good things.
Bye.
Bye.